pathetic band of white, privileged criminal businessmen? I would like to say to him, niet, sir, niet, niet, niet.
Behold the new face of the Democratic Party. Enough from you people. President Trump had his most presidential week yet. He talked about building up the military on an aircraft carrier. He talked about fixing Obamacare to healthcare CEOs. He listened in on parent-teacher conferences at a school in Florida. Oddly, so did I. And of course, on Tuesday, in his address to Congress, he hit it out of the park. Of course, it helped that the park was the size of a yoga mat, meaning expectations were so low, his potential for killing it was high. Mind you, low expectations are awesome. My success is based on everyone thinking that I suck. But it didn't help the Democrats that before the speech, the media obsessed over a picture of Kellyanne Conway on a couch. Oh, the outrage. But worse things have happened on that couch. Just to clarify, rumor has it that for 1 year, Bill Clinton actually disguised himself as the couch. Poor Madeleine Albright. Scarred her for life. Got out of politics. But Trump's performance was so focused, it's as if he took all my advice and my Adderall. The best part, the Democrats. First, here's Liz Warren trying to clap.
We have formed a council with our neighbors in Canada to help ensure that women entrepreneurs have access to the networks, markets, and capital they need to start a business and live out their financial dreams.
She didn't hear it. Guess Donald should have used smoke signals. I don't even get it. What are you laughing about? And then there was Nancy.
Americans purchase their own coverage through the use of tax credits and expanded health savings accounts. But it must be the plan they want, not the plan forced on them by our government.
Did you just see Pelosi try to roll her eyes? It's the only thing on her face that still moves. Now, all in all, the Democrats look like they just eaten at Taco Bell, chased it with a large coffee, then realized there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. They squirmed like possums in a trailer park. After all, Trump's saying the things that they want to hear, but it's coming from him, and they can't admit it. They're like a child who refuses birthday cake because someone else's slice got all the frosting. And that's Donald Trump. Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Keith Ellison. Look at them. Oh, you don't have to. They're miserable. It's like they're married. And on the worst Carnival cruise ever. Their faces tighter than Michael Moore's yoga pants. Meanwhile, outside the hall, Rosie.
Even if our major media companies will not call him a liar, we will. He lies! He lies! He lies!
That's what you call persuasive. I'm pretty sure I once gave her money on the subway. Then the post-debate response.
This president's speech matter a lot less than the speeches of just about any other president because they're detached from his reality. He talks one way and does another.
Elections have consequences, and you saw some of them last night.
This was Steve Bannon on steroids with a smile. I mean, start out with alternative facts.
Schumer, Pelosi, and Perez. What are three things that make you puke for 1,000, Alex? And finally, what about that rebuttal?
I'm a proud Democrat, but first and foremost, I'm a proud Republican and Democrat and mostly American.
What does that mean? Mostly American. What else are you? Vulcan, a Trifid, I don't know. Also, you got to check out the people behind him. Were they held at gunpoint? Did one of them silently mouth, "Please send help"? So instead of Cory Booker, we get a reverse mortgage spokesman. But I don't blame them. For so long, they had been pushing divisive identity politics. So the rebuttal was their feeble attempt to make amends. So they imitated Trump's outreach. But like a drunk accountant trying to sing Lady Gaga at karaoke, it grated. It was a disaster. So as the Democrats tried to beat Trump, Trump did a way better version of them. No wonder Rosie's pissed. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's welcome our guest tonight. Like Albert Einstein trapped in a house fire, she's as smart as she is hot. One of my co-hosts on The Five, Kimberly Guilfoyle. I love this man. He is so sharp, he can dice an onion with his thoughts. He's the creator and host of The Rubin Report, the great Dave Rubin. And great hair, by the way. Amazing hair. She loved the ending of Old Yeller. National Review reporter and Fox News contributor, Catherine Timpf. And finally, Niagara Falls is his foot bath. TNA wrestler and Fox News contributor, Tyrus. All right, I'm going to go down this thing. Kimberly, we've been talking about this all week. What can you add to this conversation that we haven't said already about his performance?
Yeah, no, I love that whole opening. That was fantastic. I'm truly frightened by Rosie, though. I don't know. But listen, I think Trump's actually, ultimately, he's won the week, because when you see people acting hysterically like that, and they're trying to make up these fake controversies when we know the Dems have been hanging out with the Russians just as much, you say to yourself, wow, they must be really terrified. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll make up anything to try to undermine his presidency. So when you have President Trump giving an amazing, probably the best speech that he's given at the joint session of Congress, and then you have him speaking in front of the military, looking presidential again, he's owning 45, and it's really unclear what the Democrats are even accomplishing at that point. And you said it, like, look, this is the new mascot of the Democratic Party.
If they're lucky. You know what, Dave, when I watched his speech, it's not like it's Ted Cruz. It's more like Ted Baxter. He's right, you know, he's down the middle. He's not, I mean, shouldn't Democrats are going to have a hard time hating him if he starts spending all this money, right?
Yeah, well, you know, first off, just on Rosie real quick, I like Rosie. We're friendly, but I am going to have to tell her that she, too, is white.
Yes.
It seems to me that perhaps some of these people constantly complaining about white people need a mirror, or they're having some issues with lighting.
Yeah.
That said, we live in probably the dumbest time in the history of man right now, and
I'd like to say I contributed to that.
Yeah, I have no doubt I've been part of it. But I get all my information from Twitter, and I was on Twitter after the speech, and I can confirm that half the country thought it was the greatest thing ever, and half the country thought it was completely insane, and we're doomed.
Yeah, but that point, I believe it's somewhere in the middle, because nothing is ever as great as it is, or as bad. It's a little mix of both. Kat, am I right? Go ahead and speak to something that I didn't even mention.
Well, absolutely, you're right.
Thank you.
People who thought the speech was awful, I mean, there's certain things in it that just you can't say are awful. He said a lot of wonderful things. I do think that the Democrat, Republican, Americanish guy stole the show. I think that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Weird. I am often tempted, because this show is like a little later, to have a drink before the show.
Right.
And now I'm going to remember that guy and just go, nope. So, save my career.
In the khakis.
Can I just say how funny it is that I don't know his name?
Yeah.
Do any of us know his name? Do you know his name? It must
Thank
be
God for that.
Where did they come up with this guy?
Which one? Which one?
Nobody
The guy that gave the rebuttal.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a former governor. I was like, I didn't even know who you were talking about, because I already forgot who he was.
He said it with such confidence, too.
Yeah,
It wasn't his fault. He'll read whatever's on the teleprompter. He has Ron Burgundy syndrome.
So you think he was framed?
Whoever was typing it probably had a drink and was like Republican, Democrat.
But you know what, Tyrus? I have to say that it was a noble experiment. They knew that they had marginalized a segment of society, so they built that diorama of dismal dudes. DDD.
We live in an era of obstruction. Doesn't matter. Donald Trump could literally show up at that speech and have the cure for cancer in this hand, cure for AIDS in this hand, and the Democrats would, what, no flu cold? That's the era we live in.
Obama had it. About Obama, right?
Yeah, Obama had it. Now Trump has it.
Yeah.
His thing is just to keep going. They're going to have their issues. They're going to, no matter what he does, they're going to have a problem with it. He could do, and that's just the state of our country. And they're thinking, they're banking on it, what it did for the Republican Party is going to help with them. The problem is the Republican Party is stuck with issues. They're being led by Rosie O'Donnell, and you are right. She is certainly white. We're not taking credit for that. That's all y'all. But it's going to backfire because they're doing it in a way they have no other solution. It's just we hate Donald Trump. And that's
I don't
not
think
an
anybody
answer.
wanted to show up for that rebuttal. I mean, it was like any takers. No one wanted to raise their hand and show up, so they got
pulled him out of the bar, and there he was.
Yes.
That's like the
he hopped on the tractor.
elderly khaki ads for the Gap or something.
Last point. Am I right though about the low expectations?
Yeah.
It wasn't, I think that helped. Like it helped him. Opposition is his fuel, his supplement, right?
Yeah, if the bar is Hitler, pretty easy to exceed it.
Yes.
Well, we all have a friend like this, like a friend who's crazy, who says crazy things, and every now and again they're going to say something that sounds right, and you go, "Holy Jesus, that is a genius!"
Yes,
right there.
Like Greg. That's what we say every day.
Thank you for that. All right.
It's true.
I got to move on, Kimberly.
All
Enough,
right.
okay? Okay. See her twice today. Still to come, the Russians and Sessions. That's a lot of S's. But first, here's a quick preview of the rest of the show.
Coming up on the Greg Gutfeld Show, snail racing. Could this hot new game overtake football as America's most popular sport?
Welcome to the latest edition of Who Had Lunch with the Russian. Yes, apparently people in Washington meet with foreign diplomats. I know, it's crazy. In other news, I met a goth at Hot Topic. All right, enough of that. So, as the media pursues this story like a cannibal chasing a fat kid, Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself from any investigations involving Russian meddling with the last election. On Thursday, Sessions had this to say.
Let me be clear. I never had meetings with Russian operatives or Russian intermediaries about the Trump campaign. And the idea that I was part of a, quote, continuing exchange of information during the campaign between Trump surrogates and intermediaries for the Russian government is totally false.
This after the Washington Post claims Sessions met with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak last year. During his congressional testimony in January, Sessions said he had no communications with the Russians regarding the presidential campaign. Some say he lied, but others question the timing of these revelations coming right after Trump's successful address to Congress. And what about those pictures of Sergei schmoozing with American politicians? Oh yeah, Democratic American politicians. He's like the Russian Forrest Gump. How about Chuck Schumer eating a donut with Vladimir Putin? As Nelson might put it, that never gets old. Dave, let me ask you, do you think this is a problem for Sessions, or is this being overblown?
Well, first off, following Nelson Muntz is a comedy nightmare. Well, I just want to say that I did punch a couple Russians on the way here. Remember a couple of weeks ago, punching Nazis was cool?
Right.
So now I'm punching Russians.
Very good. Yes.
You got to punch Russians wherever you see them.
Exactly.
Even if you see someone, even if they order Russian dressing, you've got to assault them.
To do it.
Good show preparation.
Yeah, I would say this. Look, the Democrats seem to think that we are in 1985 and that we have to send Rocky Balboa to go fight Ivan Drago in Moscow on Christmas Day.
We don't.
We don't. Also, Rocky Balboa, not real.
Yes.
We have to tell them that too. Yeah.
It's true. And let's not forget, Rocky lost. What a loser.
Oh, my God.
I
Don't
know.
disparage
People,
Rocky.
by the way,
Sylvester Stallone is a Trump fan.
I know, I was joking. By the way, why are we so surprised over this? For Russians, espionage is their yoga, Kimberly. This is what they do to be limber.
Yeah, completely. So they're into that. They're tantric in every way. They're very good at doing this type of thing. They've specialized in espionage and disinformation campaigns. And now they're making fools of the Democrats. And it looks like the Democrats actually had more, consorting with him at all, like the free mooching at the party parties and stuff, parties and drinks and food, than the Republicans. So I think Sessions was good to come right out in front and say, listen, what are you guys talking about? Nothing's improper here. He was being transparent. Came on this network, too, and talked about it. So much ado about nothing.
Tyrus, I have a theory that actually the Democrats were meeting with the Russians to undermine Trump, not the other way around.
That could be possible.
It probably isn't, but I like saying it.
It could be possible. But we're forgetting one thing. This is Sessions' fault.
Really?
Okay. You and I are in court.
Yeah.
And the attorney asked me, Mr. Tyrus, were you with her the day that she died? No.
Okay.
Good answer.
Yes.
No, I was not with her.
Yeah.
And then come to find out I had breakfast with her.
Right.
But I wasn't with her when she died.
Right.
He just said no.
Yes.
This is, Democrats are going to keep throwing stuff on the wall, and Sessions tripped over it. If he would have answered it the right way, and they broke down the questions 5, 6. No, I wouldn't talk no Russians. Period. If I said that in court, and then they saw a picture of me and Ivan Koloff hanging out, they'd be like, "Got him. Negro's going to jail. Liar." So sorry,
Liar.
Sessions.
Lions.
Welcome, bruh.
Liar and
It's on
Tyrus.
you. It's on him. If he answers right, they got nothing. But because of this silly, dumb stuff, they have something.
So what I learned from your response is that if somebody I know who dies, I should say I was with him for breakfast.
Yeah.
But not that you had them for breakfast.
Yes. Not that
Okay, well, there's two meetings, though. There was the one at the Heritage Foundation reception, which is really no big deal, and the one in September when the hacks already took place. If you ask me if I've, been talking to the Russians, I'd say no, and then you could bust me, because yesterday I was with my Russian hairstylist. My hairstylist is born in Russia, and we did collude to give me beautiful hair. It's true.
Get your money back.
It's also important. Thank you. It's important to note that the recusing himself really didn't have anything to do with the Russia stuff so much as he was a surrogate for a campaign. And no, you shouldn't be able to investigate a campaign you were a surrogate for. Thankfully, he understood this. Somebody whose name rhymes with Loretta Lynch didn't seem to understand this. So it's good to see some consistency that he said that she should recuse herself, and then when he had his own conflict, he actually did it. Who knew? I very rarely see that of any politician. That was pretty nice.
By the way, let's not forget that the question was asked by SNL character Al Franken, who he was reading something for the first time.
Yes,
he was reading it for the first time, fumbling over what he was saying and laughing while he was reading at it. So that does kind of buy into your theory that they're kind of in on it.
It's all coming full circle. By the way, if Trump really wanted to collude with the Russians, he could have done a better job. You don't go up and brag about it on a campaign. Hey, Russians, go after Hillary. You don't do that unless you're super brilliant.
Yes. He wouldn't telegraph that. He always says Obama used to do that. That's what we're going to do, bad guys.
We got to take a break. Coming up, I have a theory. When it comes to all things Trump, the media and internet idiots have something in common. They swing at everything like a drunk carnival goer playing whack-a-mole, and in the end, they always lose. For example, this week, the Washington Post ran a story about the president's first dinner in D.C., a $54 steak, well done with ketchup. Unappetizing, maybe. The end of the world, hardly. Then there was the couch thing. During the president's meeting with leaders of historically black colleges, advisor Kellyanne Conway was photographed on the Oval Office couch with her shoes on, legs folded underneath her. The New York Times headline, Kellyanne Conway casually sits, and etiquette arbiters take a stand. Ooh, that was clever turning of a phrase. But if that's a problem, they should see how I celebrated New Year's with my chinchilla. So easy to get that little guy drunk. But very hard to get him removed.
Ew.
So, Tyrus.
Yo.
Terrible.
I find the attack on a well-done steak highly elitist.
Well, I eat well-done steaks with A1 sauce, and I don't care where they're at. And I wish someone would come talk about my food plate.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How scary.
I get it butterflied in half, so I make sure. Trust no one.
Yeah, trust. I don't
want your commie pink meat inside my steak.
My theory...
Way to take it all the way.
I did.
That's how he feels about his meat.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh! Yes.
Kimberly, well done steak with ketchup is what an 8-year-old boy does because he loves ketchup. It's like I would put ketchup on a shoe when I was 8 years old. I think Donald is still kind of like an 8-year-old. He likes candy. He likes beef. He doesn't drink.
Wait a second. What's wrong with ketchup?
I love ketchup.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's just a crushed tomato.
I love ketchup, but I also am partial to A1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on all this whack-a-moling?
Well, I think, listen, they just look like haters, right? Every 5 seconds they're trying to throw shade on the president. He's doing a great job. I mean, he keeps like pushing along.
Couldn't people say that about us, though, during the Obama years?
No, maybe you.
I mean, it's true. The pendulum has swung. Now we are saying, oh,
they won't give him credit for anything that he does that's good. It doesn't matter.
Right,
that's the problem. So they're just disingenuous and they're lacking credibility and their party's falling apart. So they don't look good in any way. I mean, look, they've got Nancy Pelosi. Tragic. Yeah. That's it.
All right.
But guys, aren't the Republicans supposed to be the old, rich, white elitists that eat steak the way they eat it? And now who's mocking him?
Yes.
Who's mocking him? It's the liberals. It's my guys, or the guys that now hate me. But
yes.
They don't love you anymore.
Yeah, you're losing them. I call this meat shaming. You know, it's like signaling that I'm not as evolved as you are because I eat my meat medium now, and I do like to kneel on a couch now and then, but for reasons I can't get into.
But that's a height issue.
There's a callback to the chinchilla there.
Yes, yes, there is. Yes, ask the ER. Hey, Kat.
Now you know it's a true story. Brought it up twice.
Kat, thoughts on this? And I'm told you've investigated this couch madness.
Yeah, Greg, obviously it was the most important story of the week. I had to investigate it further. America, again this week, you get to see my package.
Oh, boy.
What do you think when you see this?
Ridiculous. She wants to sit there on that couch, she probably can.
So you're saying that you don't think she should be fired, deported, and imprisoned?
I do not think that.
Is this better or worse than Calvin Coolidge clipping his toenails on the couch?
It's a close call.
So this is nothing also compared to how Ulysses S. Grant spilled all the SpaghettiOs on the couch.
That would be far worse.
That was far worse.
Calvin Coolidge used to peel hard-boiled eggs on the couch?
Absolutely. Who do you think has been worse for White House couches, Kellyanne Conway or William Jefferson Clinton?
Kellyanne Conway.
We don't know if Bill really liked the couch.
I don't think he liked the couch at all.
Might have been a little too, you start with the couch and then it gets boring. What's your couch look like at home? Is it soft or is it firm?
Medium.
A soft couch can be very embarrassing for everyone involved. Would you rather have her on your couch doing what she's doing or Bill Clinton on your couch doing what he does? Who would you rather have on your couch, Kellyanne Conway or Bill Clinton?
Oh, Bill Clinton.
Would you leave him unattended, though?
No, no.
How do we even know that's real? Like, maybe the couch was added later by the failing New York Times. So do you think that she should have to go to couch sensitivity training?
Without a doubt.
Have you had a worse experience on a couch than this?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Me too. My grandma covers all of her couches in plastic. Should my grandma get a job covering couches in plastic at the White House?
Yeah, if they're going to continue to do that. Grandma, get those covers.
Aw.
Thanks, guys. I'd like to cover the important issues, so now I have my finger right on the pulse of America.
This marginalizes your concerns, right? That's what happens when you go after everything. Then what about the big mole you got to whack?
I'm excited about this because 10 years ago would have been white woman hiding her legs from mob of brothers texting, they're everywhere, they're everywhere. So we've come a long way, America. So now it's just the poor couch.
You're no longer, you're no longer we've replaced black people with couches.
Yeah. She's texting, I see black people.
Oh my God. But like that's so much worse than Bill Clinton, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. The things that he did in that office, let me tell you.
What? Dogs
I
on
think
the
he's too
couch.
out for the couch.
He was sitting in a chair when he did that with the cigar.
At a desk, much like
Rick
this.
James got his legs punched in for sitting with his feet on the couch. So, I mean, at least nobody got around and punched their legs out,
You know what bothers me is pets. It's like, okay, so she can't kneel on it, but like George Bush always had that big black dog just rolling on the couch. That to me is worse.
Yeah, but you have a weird thing. I mean, you're jealous of Jasper. You don't like animals. You've got those issues. It's true. He does. He doesn't like him.
Jealous of a dog.
You stopped following Dana on Instagram because of it.
Because every 20 seconds she posts a picture of that.
It is an excessive amount of dogs. I got to be honest.
Well, your Instagram is an excessive amount of sweaty weightlifting. I'm going to say
And yours is nothing but dry tears and call me.
I don't cry on the internet. I try off.
Dave, how's your Instagram?
This is why I don't post on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Winning.
Up next is moral outrage is the new emotional body odor. Everyone gets it now and then, and it stinks. But while it appears that expressing moral outrage is a sign that you care about societal harms, new research suggests it's often a function of self-interest designed to reinforce your phony status as a very good person. Of course, I'm speaking of the supreme phony of 2016, Colin Kaepernick. A new report says the dim-witted QB will stand for the national anthem next season. That's funny. He thinks there's a next season. ESPN's reporting that he will no longer kneel in the name of social inequality. Next season, he's going to go back to standing. Citing sources, reporter Adam Schefter writes, quote, Kaepernick no longer wants his method of protest to detract from the positive change he believes he has created. Could be that he really did bring about positive change. Could also be that he hired new agents this week who told him to start standing or you'll be homeless in a year selling your hair for pot. Happened to me. It happened to me for a while. I was down in the dumps.
Yeah.
Didn't make a lot of money. All right, Dave, why do you think he did this?
I'd hold on to that if I were you.
Thank you. You know, that's just rude. Dave, do you think he did it because of a positive message because he knew he was getting a job?
Wait, I'm a little out of the loop. Is Joe Montana not the 49ers quarterback anymore?
It's been a long time.
Wasn't he?
Yeah,
It's been a long time. The greatest quarterback ever, by the way.
He's
He wasn't even the greatest quarterback on his team.
Joe Montana?
No, wrong.
Joe Montana was the greatest quarterback that ever worked
said so himself. Everybody knew Young was better.
Joe Montana.
He's no
Knock
Tom
it
Brady.
off. Ask Ronnie Lott.
All right, where are we going with this segment?
I have nothing to add to that.
That's to be
Colin Kaepernick, real quick. Colin Kaepernick, he wanted to be a citizen. He went for a protest. He started a conversation. He raised $1 million. The 49ers gave him $1 million. He attempted to do something. He got a conversation, so I'll give him that for his protest. But going forward, he didn't register to vote.
Yeah.
He made horrible statements, and now he's saying, I'm not going to do it anymore because one thought is because he got a new management team and he's holding on to his career by a string, or two, the argument, I was watching ESPN today, and the argument was, well, Martin Luther King didn't march every day of the week. No, he didn't, but his message went with him wherever he went.
Well, he says it created this positive change and it was working. And generally, what I find is when things for me are working, I don't stop doing them. My first clue that maybe he acknowledges that it wasn't.
Well, if you're protesting, Kat, and suddenly people are listening to you and helping you in a positive way, then you don't need to protest anymore.
Only in America could a guy making, what, $5, $10 million a year be oppressed. That's a beautiful level of oppression, don't you think?
Amazing. And show up at a press conference with Fidel Castro on your shirt and a Malcolm X hat, which is whatever. But
that's an oxymoron. That's what I'm saying. Yes. The brother's head was in the right place, but he didn't read a book.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He just, you know.
I think he should be a spokesman for knee pads.
Yeah, oh my God.
No, because he's constantly kneeling.
He's giving the 49ers a bad name. You know how much I love that team, and he is the worst quarterback to play for. I mean, honestly.
This is my point. I was a 49er fan all my life, and now I attach him to that. It's just.
But they gave him an award. They gave him a trophy.
Yeah.
But that's what it was all about in the first place.
He's opted out. He's not going to be a 49er anymore. So you don't have to worry
He was
about it.
just doing that to please his
He'll come to
girlfriend.
New York. He'll be a Jet. You guys will love it.
It was always about the girlfriend.
It was about the girlfriend, right?
It was about the girlfriend?
He was wanting to please the girlfriend, was with Black Lives Matter.
That's why everybody does everything. Dave,
How are you going to do
so
it
probably
and
they
not
broke up
vote?
and he's after another chick.
Vote. The guy didn't vote.
I know.
Really think about it.
Well, because he would have had to get up.
Nice setup.
Nice setup.
Very good, very good. Do you want to talk about this study, moral outrage? I think we all kind of agree that
I'm outraged.
I'm outraged about the moral outrage. It allowed lazy intellects to somehow redefine themselves as romantic heroes.
I'm shocked.
Are you?
I'm shocked to hear that these college kids writing op-eds about how eyebrows are cultural appropriation are not actually just, really trying to rid the world of the eyebrows that are hurting people.
Right.
No, of course it makes themselves feel better. I can be the most culturally aware. I can be the smartest, and they can throw the problem at someone else, the uneducated, not culturally educated other, rather than having to say, oh, maybe I should get a hobby.
Yes.
Right.
But then what would you do? Because, I'm a big supporter of the Dolphin stuff, and Rick Barry and his family, and, supporting the Dolphins' rights and all that kind of stuff. But I show up to work 15 minutes late every day because I'm so oppressed with what's going on with the Dolphins in Japan, and I just can't get to Burger King on time. It's because they're so what else are you going to do if you can't have those things to make excuses for your lazy-ass life?
Yeah. There's so many people going on mission trips for the Facebook likes. I'm sure that's a thing, like going and volunteering. That's everywhere. That's all they talk about. Clearly, it's not an entirely selfless act.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I mean, this is my guys on the left that are doing this. They're playing this oppression Olympics where victimhood is the highest virtue. So you got to be more oppressed than someone else, because then you're better, you get more likes, more clicks, more shares.
And you're a good person.
And you are
despite all your oppression.
But as a person of height challenge status, I am the most depressed, and I never complain about it.
What are you talking about? Every time you go on an airplane, you fit in the seat, you're oppressed? I'd be on the other side of the spectrum sometimes.
I'm flying with him.
Try to go get a pair of shoes in the store, Greg.
Oh, my goodness. I think these people are so super bored. They don't have anything else going on. They want to feel better about themselves. They're just wallowing in the bottom of the lack of self-esteem abyss.
Well, they truly are wallowing in the bottom.
Well, I wallow as a point of pride.
All right, coming up, they want to focus their hocus pocus on POTUS. Took a while. I speak of a group of witches, we have lots of them, who are casting spells on President Trump every waning crescent moon at midnight until he's no longer president.
To bind Donald J. Trump.
To bind Donald J. Trump.
That he may do no harm.
That he may do no harm.
To any human soul.
To any human soul.
Nor any tree.
Nor any tree.
Animal.
Animal.
Rock.
Rock.
Stream.
Stream.
Or sea.
Or sea.
You're
fired. You're fired. You're fired.
That's adorable. I like their plucky spirit. In fact, I offer them a slogan, yes, we can. Previously, thank you, Lana Del Rey, my favorite celebrity witch, tweeted an invitation for her coven to join. At the stroke of midnight, February 24th, March 26th, April 24th, May 23rd, ingredients can be found online. Unreal. Can't believe she's making me look up the ingredients myself. Lazy witches are the worst witches. All right, Kimberly.
Yeah, remember that cute show, Charmed?
Yes.
That was so nice. They were nice witches. They didn't seem to, they just wanted to like make out with hot demons and whatever. That was fine. That was when witches were sort of innocent, right?
Yes, yes. I think they always were dating Matt Damon. Yeah. No, you know what though? I didn't like Charmed because it glorified the occult. And wait. No, I like that.
Wait a second. You just did a segment on it. Yeah.
What do you make, Dave?
Well, how much worse can society get? You know what I mean? Like, we're really veering into like, okay, I see this story and it's like, yeah, of course the witches against Trump and the aliens against Trump, and we're going to be Walking Dead against Trump, and a lot of the voters are the Walking Dead, but it's just like, it's never going to stop at this point. So yeah, witches against Trump, all right.
This is pretty much peak pathetic, actually. Think about anybody who does spells. Like, if you hear a girl is looking online for spells to try to get her boyfriend back, is she doing that because she has a lot of other options? No, she's not. And it's just the height of being pathetic and sad. You're looking up ingredients that Lana Del Rey gave you to cast a spell so the president will lose his job. Oh, what? You have the saddest life ever, and I will pray for you.
Ah, then you're an atheist.
Yeah.
They're not getting help.
Yeah, Tyrus, I haven't...
Wait a minute.
Yes?
I'm trying to do that bewitched thing.
I'm an atheist, but I'm still scared of witches because my mom was Catholic and she taught me to fear them.
Cat away to the cornfield. Everyone, look, come on.
Looks like you're...
It's not working. It's not working.
Yes.
I don't know.
You know what? I just like to know how many takes that were. Like, how many come on, John, you got to get this right. We got to wish him away. And maybe I'll start my own. I wonder what the head's charging for that group. I'm sure they're all paying something to be a part of that, you know.
Way to be an entrepreneur.
You know?
Did I hear that correctly? They wish no harm to a rock?
Yes, right? But it was a actual, not this country, but a rock. It was like a tree. No,
which is
tree,
blasphemy.
and then it was
because
a
they're
rock.
burning wood for their fire.
I know.
You dumb bastards.
That is so true.
How many trees have to die for your spell?
Yes.
I thought they meant The Rock, and everybody loves that guy.
Everybody loves The Rock.
I don't love The Rock.
Especially The Rock.
Yes.
He loves himself a lot.
in there.
I think this gives witches a bad rap because witches are often, people think witches are evil, but in fact, witches were they developed this to protect themselves in villages because they were often persecuted. Elderly women who did not have, they didn't.
Salem witch trials.
Yes.
Witch hunts, that's all we're
trying
seeing
to
now.
defend themselves, so they came up with this whole phony idea, right? Wasn't that it?
Enough about Nancy Pelosi. The point is,
You know what, though? They need to be careful because Donald Trump messed around and changed the ISIS to witchcraft, and ICE roll up on them and take them. What do you do with witches? You drown them?
I don't know. I think
yeah, that's the rule. Like, you stick them in water. If they don't drown, they're not witches.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, that's the problem. I think they need more monuments to the witches. Which is like, no, they died. It was a horrible life.
Well,
horrible
I mean,
life.
they're very popular at Halloween.
That is true.
So they've got a good union.
Yes, and they do carry a broom.